Hare Krishna everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of the Dham podcast.
Your favorite Hare Krishna lifestyle podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Prema
and I'm Narayan.
And
behind the camera we don't have Prabhupada today. He'll be coming a little bit later, but we are very happy to present our very first guest on the show.
Our second guest. Wasn't Sudavia first?
Sudavia was part of the team.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, Sudavia. And I love you, girl. But welcome to our first, maybe second, possibly first guest. We have Govinda.
Hi.
Thank you.
How do you feel about being on the show?
I feel honored.
I'm imagining like Jay Leno.
We'll see how long she feels honored.
yeah. I'm imagining like, the little New York skyline at the back, evening talk show time.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on before I continue making more blunders. Today we are going to be talking exclusively about astrology. We have Govinda here, who is a very well-known astrologer. You may have seen her on her Instagram feed or on her website. You may be one of her clients. You may know possibly nothing about astrology at all, and this is why we have Govinda here to kind of talk us a little bit about what's going on with the stars as part of our themed guest episode.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You've been practicing for like 11 years, I think I read in your bio. That's a long time. That's good.
Yeah.
You look really young for 11 years.
No, I started pretty young.
Okay.
People start dancing when they're 5, so they're 17 is like, yeah, I've learned it for 12 years.
Wow.
Like that.
Okay.
That's good.
So I started learning pretty young, astrology. Not that young, but yeah, when I was 14.
Yeah.
So.
And you learned here in Mayapur and around, I guess? So.
Yeah, in Mayapur, and then also have teachers in Vrindavan. And some teachers that have come to Mayapur later, like really experienced astrologers, like Prabhupada, amazing Canadian Prabhupada disciple, 45 years experience.
Mm-hmm.
He's there to give you those expert tips, how to move forward. Mm-hmm. He actually saved my life with astrology once, and since then I really reshifted my focus back to astrology as a serious thing, because I was like, wow, this can actually help me more than just an interest,
Right.
like, yeah.
When you say you saved your life, what do you mean? What happened? What's the story?
It's a long story.
Settle in.
I got tissues if you start crying too.
I see people not scared to pressure. It was like a really difficult time because I was in a relationship, in a committed relationship, and that was a crazy time because it involved traveling abroad, getting legally married or not, and there were so many things juggling in the air, and nothing made sense because this person turned out to be like the opposite of what I thought they were. But I was already on a track, and I was too young to know. I was only like 20, and I was just like, what's going on, what to do? People say this, but I feel like that. And then I got this consultation, and he was like, run for the woods. This guy is never going to change, It's like, if you go into this, you're going to go into a black hole. And that's exactly what I felt. And I was like, wow, I just needed someone to just confirm me.
You saw the light.
I saw the light. I was like, yes, So him came into my life after a lot of prayer. And other ones, like one therapist as well. They came at the same time for free because I had no money that time as well. So they both came super experienced, and I was like, so since then I was like, man, astrology can actually save lives. And then I took a turn around, and oh my God, it was the best decision I ever did. And he told me, because I was tempted to try again and everything, he's like, Govinda, if you want to become an astrologer one day, and you want people to listen to your advice, you need to learn how to take it. So take this one. And I was like, wow. So then I took it, and now I feel like that strength to give advice as well.
Because you are taking in the decisions based on the information, and so you practice what you preach.
Exactly. Because I see many people sometimes they want to become a counselor and everything. I'm like, did you ever take counseling? Like, no. I'm like,
I just want to tell you what to do. That's my kind of counseling.
I'm like, that doesn't work, guys. You have to live what you preach. So,
Right. Makes sense.
So that's
Very
my
nice.
little story.
Very interesting story. Cool. Wow. Not bad.
Yeah.
We're getting to know you a little bit more. That's nice. In fact, on that subject, I have decided to switch up because Kripa's not here. I'm going to be asking you getting to know you questions live on cam.
Oh my goodness.
And Prema Rupa doesn't look too hot about it.
Some of those questions are really random.
It's okay, I can always say no, right?
No,
What?
You have to answer.
you have to commit.
Make up anything.
I can make up.
Lie.
Yeah.
But answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But answer.
Let's
All
take
right.
the flow.
We're gonna pass the book around,
Really?
and I'm gonna ask the question to two of you. So you're gonna pass the book, and then you're gonna do the same for all of us.
You also in the spotlight.
Yeah. girl.
I'm so confused. So we're doing 3 getting to know you questions?
Kind of. We're just getting to know each other. It's a super duper guest episode.
Okay.
Let's go big or go home, and we're already home. Prema was home, so we might as well go big. All right.
There's
so,
plenty of rooms if you need to
plenty of
stay.
room. Right. So the question for both of you is. Where would you like to go on a day trip? You must drive there and back in one day, but you have unlimited funds for gas, food, and activities. That wasn't so bad.
That was
No, that's not that bad.
That was pretty chill.
That's
Yeah.
good. It's
Well,
For both of y'all.
Oh, so both of us. Okay.
Do you have an answer?
No.
But it's a day trip. Like,
Day
and you
trip.
have
It's
to
a
drive.
day trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you like to go on a day trip? You must drive there and back in one day.
See, this is the thing with Mayapur is like
There's nowhere to go.
there's nowhere to go. Like if this is America, I'm like, Mall of America, let's spend some money, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? And here it's like,
Behrampur.
I'm going to Baman Pukur and just buy out the shops, you know? Like, what am I gonna say?
Day trip.
Calcutta.
Yeah, Calcutta.
No,
is
that's not
one.
my answer. I'm giving
Yeah,
suggestions.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say like I was just thinking about Ramuna again. I'd love to go to Ramuna.
Who?
Ramuna,
Oh yeah.
Who
right? With that
Kirchhoff
Kirchhoff.
Gopinath?
Yeah. And they offer this special
The
cure.
Gopinath that
to
stole
see.
the cure from Advaita Puri.
Yeah.
Isn't that in Puri?
That's in Remuda.
It's in Ramuna.
Isn't it another
In
city
Orissa.
of Orissa? Yeah.
Of Orissa, okay.
Where we
But
Western
it's like
people cannot go.
it's like 6
Yeah.
hours. And
Yeah.
That's why we didn't go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we cannot enter.
But you can go. You both look so dainty.
I
I just walked in.
I don't have
know.
one drop of Indian in my blood.
They don't care about that. They just look at your skin tone.
Yeah, and it doesn't pass.
And it doesn't pass?
Yeah. I went to Jagannath temple once,
Nice.
hidden,
Yes.
as a married Bengali woman.
Really?
I love
With a
it.
big bindi and everything, and I spoke Bengali, so thank God. But they asked me twice, what's my title and what's my gotra? Twice, you know.
What was your title?
Das. What else? Because that's the actual title, you know.
Yes.
But it's also to speak servant.
Yes, Das and your gocha?
Achuta.
Achuta. Come on.
Prabhupada told us what to do.
Yep, Achuta.
Prabhupada gave us the secret though. So
Yep.
yeah, that's it. So,
Okay.
okay,
So where would you guys go on a day
my
trip?
day trip. Well, I was thinking of somewhere else. Can I say?
Yeah, please.
I was thinking of the mountains and the river.
Where?
You know, like just imagine it, because people don't live by the mountain and the river.
Yeah.
So if I'm somewhere and I want to go on a day trip, I would drive to the
No,
river.
no, you have
But
to
maybe
drive
if-
from Mayapur in
No,
one
I
day.
didn't say it was in Mayapur. Okay.
Mm.
From Mayapur.
It's tough actually because there's nothing here.
There's really not a
There's
lot.
nothing.
Well, I would love to go to. I like Gurjimagli. I like Bhakti Thakur's house.
Okay.
I went there the other day, just on a Japa walk, which is the best. You go, you sing Sharanagati prayers. This old lady gave me sweet rice, it was delicious, and I felt blessed. And I just came back home, you know. So,
Very nice.
but driving, I could actually technically drive around.
You could drive there and come back.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Not bad. So we got Ramona
Yeah.
and Good
Drumadri.
Goma Drumadri.
Go
No.
Druma.
There's one like that, right? Drumadri.
Mother Druma.
Druma.
It's Mother Drumadri.
Yeah.
Mother
I love it
Drumadri.
too.
I can't pronounce any of them, and I live here. Okay, who's next?
Alright. You just randomly opened to a
I
page?
just randomly opened.
And that's for both of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is horrible.
Go for it.
Go
No.
for it.
You want me to read it?
Read it.
Were you ever bullied as a child? Tell a story of a time you were bullied or a time you observed someone being bullied. See, that's why I was like, I don't want to read this.
Right at this time in Mayapur, asked this for Gurukul.
Well.
And I was second gen. I'm like, what's going on, you guys?
Yeah, how was high school?
teased. Like, ain't nobody gonna survive pushing my head in a toilet, y'all, let me tell you. I know I'm insecure. I'm gonna beat your ass if you go into that. Teasing and verbal abuse is fine, you know, like I went through it, you know. I'm now a dysfunctional human being, but I can work with that.
Wow.
But bullied,
Here for the energy.
yeah, like, no, I can't say I was really bullied.
Okay.
Just quite severely annoyed.
Did you ever see somebody being bullied?
No, but not that I can recall, but... I
Not
know.
that you want to state on camera.
No, yeah, I saw it and I walked away. No,
I have nothing to do with it. Please don't call me in no meetings.
Yeah. Actually, wait, I did see somebody getting bullied and I was hell annoyed. I was driving down the street. I was going to Krishnagar and I'm driving and I have a friend with me and we're going. And then I see this Prabhu kicking this small boy.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
What is happening? Oh my god.
Kicking.
I lost it.
Kicking. And I said, I can't. I could not. So I stopped. And I was like, and it's like, he's talking about something like, oh, he used my Amazon account, you know, to buy some stuff.
So-
Probably was the son. I said, right there in the middle of the street, do not kick him. Don't kick him, don't kick the children, leave the children alone. Like, you can yell at your child.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one thing. Because Lord knows the children these days, they need, to be honest, they need a slap. But we can't. Because that's not good. Right? Some of them should be hung, drawn, and quartered. But you don't touch the kids. You know? I'm telling you, there's some little kids there that make me wanna, like, you know, from Matilda, Miss Trunchbull, just yank him by the hair and go, ooh, woo!
Okay, I think I haven't seen those kids in a while.
Well, lucky. But I saw that and I was like, he was actually kicking him. And I was like, don't kick the kids. I stopped, I got in his case, then he kind of backed off. Then I asked the kid if the kid was alright. The kid was like too shy, I guess because his dad was there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, just don't kick the kid, don't touch the kids, what are you doing? Stop. And he's like, no. Then I was like, what is this kind of Vaishnav behavior, blah, blah, blah. Kind of got into that a little bit and then I kind of left it be because I'm
How
not
much
gonna,
can you do more?
there's
Anyways.
so much you can do.
Yeah.
But then my friend was like, you shouldn't have gotten involved.
Oh my
You
god.
shouldn't
I
have
hate
said
that.
anything. You don't
Yeah.
know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. Because I cannot live with myself as a person if I said
We don't
nothing.
intervene.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I'd rather get my face beat up by saying the wrong thing, but I said something, than beat myself up for not having said anything. So that's my story.
Yeah.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you? Did you acquiesce to any bullying?
But I don't know, and nothing so bad. I think it was more subtle. It was more like I don't know if it was bullying. But I think I was a badass as well. You know.
Just catty.
I think I don't know. Maybe I deserve it to some extent because I was really like judgmental. You know. I think that I always felt I had a superiority complex. At least the girls used to tell me like Govinda is a little pure devotee because I'm always like quoting Shastra and telling them what not to do and telling
I
them.
like that.
Telling
That's
them,
so
off,
good.
telling them off to the teacher, like, look what she's doing. They're like, that's not friendship.
You're a snitch? Don't you know? Like, snitches get stitches. Like,
Yeah,
well,
like that's not friendship.
yeah. I learned like the hard way. You know, I was like, whoa, that's bad. Because actually, my friendship with my teacher was so much stronger than my friendship with the girls. So I just cultivated that way. But then I lost this way.
Yeah.
So then that was really painful. That was like, wow. Well, later, maybe, I don't know, it was meant to be, but it was kind of sad. I was like, there's parties going on that you don't go to, and it's like, I don't know if that's called bullying. I don't know. It's kind of, well, your father told me that's the word, ostracized. Yeah.
ostracized.
Yeah. That's how
I
it felt.
see. Yeah.
So that's how it gets from my high school. My childhood in Brazil was nectar. I love those friends, I still have them. But high school in Mayapur, wow. That was like...
It's like training for the Olympics.
Oh yeah, like kind of more like military. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Olympics exciting.
Wow.
Anyhow.
Oh, thank you. Good answer. And now I guess it's your turn. Let's see what Prema's got to cop up.
I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a dark tone of an astrologer. Bring, sorry.
It's good.
I have a dark tone too, just because I'm sad inside.
Yeah.
The best. So this is the first one I see on the corner?
Whichever
Oh,
one your
whichever
eyes
is
settled
the
on
one, yeah.
first.
Okay, well, First one in the corner.
No, don't skip it.
Okay. Open a dictionary to any page. Close your eyes and point to a random word. Do this 3 times. Now write something that uses all 3 words in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, see, we can't
Might have
do
to
that.
skip
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Work.
Write about something else in there.
Okay, alright, you're the
Next.
guest, we'll give you a pass.
Yeah, that's fine. So should I try
Whatever,
again?
yeah, you can do another
Okay.
flip or you can choose another question.
Okay, this one's gonna be nice. You are on the cover of a magazine. What are you famous for? Oh my god. I wanna know this. These guys are doing.
I am famous. No, you can go first.
Cover of the magazine.
Cover of magazine. GQ. Most eligible bachelor.
Woo!
Yes. Dressed like this. Like, just in my authoritative GQ self. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like that.
I like that so much.
I like that. That works.
That's a sun in Aries right there.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, astrology, man. But I'm a sun in Libra. I could never say that.
Yeah, I love it. Confidence is key.
Oh yeah.
To what? I don't know, but it's key.
To many things. Trouble as well.
Yep. I live and die by those words.
So Prema, what are you famous for?
What are you famous for?
I feel like I don't know why I have this anxiety because we have 163 subscribers. I'm like, one day I'm gonna be famous and they're gonna find all my secrets and I'm gonna get on the cover of any magazine, every magazine. And they'll be like, she's the worst person ever. Look at all these horrible things she's done. And I'm like, I know. So it's
Prema
like,
Rupa exposed.
exactly. And it's like right across my face. And my face is all sad. Or it does that like black and white thing, you know?
Yeah,
where they're
like,
like,
dun, dun.
first it was good,
Then it was bad.
So it'll be like that. Like this. So that's what I covered. All my anxiety.
She will not try kombucha. Look at this liar. I like that. I could see that being like a lot of tittle tattle on that. I like it.
Love it. It's so good.
All my anxiety. Super insecure. Me at 163 subscribers. What if I get famous one day?
And you know, like, we are like 3 of them. Like, 3 of them are in here.
Right.
Like,
It's like 160.
did you sit down?
Of course.
Okay, good. Then we're good. All right, everyone. So this was our getting to know you questions from everyone. I hope you liked them. If you have more questions for us, please feel free to let us know in the comments below or send us a private message on social media if there's anything else you would like to know about us.
Yeah.
For now, we will move on to the main segment of the episode, which is our lovely astrology section with the lovely Govinda.
Oh.
So, we thought, since astrology has, I guess, 12 zodiacs,
Yeah.
right? 12 houses, 12 zodiacs,
Mhm.
12 months of the year, we were going to do 12 questions for you.
Oh wow.
Alright, so let's see how many we get to go through. And do you want to start us off?
Yes, so what exactly is Vedic astrology?
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, my God, it's a complex question, I think,
Okay.
because Vedic astrology, to be able to do anything, you need like 2 years to study
Mhm.
it. But like what I can say is just like Vedic astrology for me, it is really an analysis of how the cosmos is connected and intrinsically influencing everything that we experience. So Vedic astrology is an analysis of that, like the on-putting of the influence of the stars onto everything we see around. So I really see Vedic astrology as an analysis of energy conducted through the planets and the signs.
Interesting.
Yes,
And
as summarized I can say.
That's actually really great. I mean, I myself love astrology. I very much like do my little rebel rogue studying into that. So no formal teaching like you have, but I'm very much interested in it. Would you say that Vedic astrology touches all areas of our life?
Definitely, without a doubt. It's crazy, like the 12 houses, they're like infinite.
So like, how do you do like, I don't know, astrology and Instagram?
Easy. Well,
Easy.
well, but then you have to understand what Instagram is. So anything can be applied. Now, anything that you see nowadays, it has a specific intrinsic quality, right? Instagram is about what? Communication. Communication in astrology is Mercury.
What about if you slide into someone's DMs?
It's like relationships.
What does that mean?
Let's say,
So like you see
you
somebody
text someone you
cute,
have a crush on and you texting them on Instagram.
and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, you up?
Would you say that's communication or communication?
That's flirting. So that's a Venus-Mercury connection.
Yeah, like how do you pick it apart to decide what it is?
Well, Instagram is a mixture of Rahu and Mercury, first of all, because
Rahu's
Rahu.
evil.
Yeah, well, not always. Depends. I like Rahu.
Ooh.
You've got to be on the good side of the bad planets. Just
Okay.
true.
Oh, smart. I like that.
Don't give you a hard time.
I like that.
So yeah, for Instagram it's a mixture. Well, how do I say about it's communication? But what type of communication is it? A regular letter writing? No, it's online. It's like internet, for example. Internet is untangible. You can't touch it. So in astrology, the 12th house is connected to all things beyond, which is spirituality, the previous life, the subconscious, but it also means the internet because it fits in that subject.
I see.
So if I want to know if someone's gonna go viral, or if they have potential to succeed online or on Instagram, they have to have a strong 12th house.
I see.
Like that.
Okay. Fascinating. Very nice answer. Thank you.
Yeah, that's one way to see it.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I was just curious because
It's like thinking about some questions.
I actually love this. I really want to get into this.
well, I mean, I was just thinking about, you know, a lot of people say, you know, like how can astrology be real? Like if I'm born November 9th, there's like 1,000 million other children born at the same time on the same day.
Exactly.
We're not all pursuing the same path, right? So like, how can you read a chart and everybody's different? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Complexing question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one thing to see, especially with Vedic astrology, you really get into detail,
Yeah.
right? So we have to see where you were born, for example, the city. So if someone is born in America and Mayapur, that's going to be different coordinates.
Right.
So if it's the same day, actually every 2 hours the zodiac signs move from the horizon.
Uh-huh.
So that one zodiac sign moving means the whole chart is flipped. So everything's going to mean a completely different thing. That's already every 2 hours. The moon moves every 2 days. But like there are other charts in astrology to see like details of life. They're like subdivisional charts. We have a subdivisional chart called Navamsha. That's about your marriage and your spouse's psychology even.
Mhm.
And there's a career chart, a children chart. These charts are so sensitive, they're sensitive to minutes. So
I
like
think I saw something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
5 minutes, the Shamsa chart of career changes. Every 15 minutes another chart. So that actually those charts, they are necessary to make a full reading. So your Navamsha is going to be different than someone else is born the same day because of minutes or hours. Yeah, that's one thing. But like twins, for example, people always ask that
Yeah, that's what I was like
Twins.
wondering. Like, and
I
someone,
knew
one
it.
person's like a rocket scientist, the other one's a crack addict. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
There's
mean?
similarity in that.
Well, they're both high.
Oh, exactly. So what I see also with astrology is that you can see potential. You know, people have the same potential and the same like tendencies, but what they do with it, that's when the free will comes in. Free will, choice, what influences you come across, because you're not literally walking beside each other 24/7, right?
Right.
So we're gonna take different routes. You're gonna be influenced with different things, and how you reflect to that is gonna be unique. But I can still say that, for example, all my friends who were born in 1997, we have so many similarities because many of our planets are in the same place.
Huh.
So that in the same year, people have a lot of similarity. We speak about the same day.
Right.
So I think that you can still see a lot.
Okay. All right. See, she's a smart one. This
I
one.
know. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I
Let's,
get it.
let's catch her with another one.
Prema's like, I
Wait,
guess.
I get it. I'm playing devil's advocate a little
Good.
bit.
Yes.
Good.
But you want to get all
Please.
the conversation
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because I know, like, I have siblings that are like, whatever, this stupid astrology thing, like,
Yeah.
who cares or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
how can it predict anything? And I'm like, I don't know, it's just fun.
Well, better than chucking like bird bones in the sky and reading them, which is also a form of divination, actually. But I do like the planets. I like the charts and the symbols and the designs. You know, it's really nice.
It's really
So
nice.
how does like Vedic astrology compare to like Western astrology? Because like in Western astrology, I'm a Scorpio, blah blah blah. In Vedic astrology, I'm a Libra. So then it's like
Were you Libra where?
hello, right?
No, as in like where? Like sun,
Sun.
moon, or
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Libra.
Right?
Libra then Scorpio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So how does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you. First of all, Vedic astrology is not taking into account your sun sign, please. Forget about your sun sign, and I'm really sorry about that.
But why? Wait, but why?
Why? Because the moon is the most important planet in Vedic astrology. The moon is your mind and how you feel, and really what determines who you are. So
Okay.
in India, if you ask anybody what's your sign, Indian people are going to answer what your moon is, not where the sun is. That's Vedic astrology. And the moon moves much faster than the sun. So which means that's more specific. Within the same month, even if everybody has a sun in Scorpio, they all going to have a moon in a different place.
Right.
And that's really going to make them more unique.
Okay.
But that's one difference. There's
So
many
follow-up
differences.
question, like considering the sun is like the central planet of all the planets,
Right, it is.
why is it seen with less importance?
That's
Or
such a good question.
yeah,
Well, my understanding from it, from the very early days of my studies, which make total sense, is that the sun is the Atma Karaka of the cosmos. Atma means soul, and Karaka is the representative. So the sun represents the soul, the very essence of our existence in the universe, right? But technically speaking, where is the soul in our daily life? It's not there. We don't deal with it, right? The soul is very much covered, unless you are a spiritualist and you are watching the Dham Good podcast, you know? Then you have the sun more activated. But most people, the sun is like not part of their life, really. So, so this very essential thing is hidden. So
it's more important to understand our feelings.
Our feelings are the ones that's more tangible. We're dealing with our emotions, attachments, beliefs. It's all the moon.
This is what functions our decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And the ascendant is also super important in Vedic astrology. The sun is the body. So your body is like related to your job, the children, the marriage, the money. You do that with your body, right? So the ascendant is more important, then your mind, and then the soul. So that's one way to explain it.
Isn't this like the whole reverse of our philosophy? Like figure out the soul, to purify the heart, and it spills into our physical existence.
Well, welcome to the material world.
We're just a bunch of emotionless bodies here with moons and ascendants all over the place, and not a sun to be seen.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
No, but the sun has one role in Vedic astrology, but it's not as like predominant in terms of personality. The sun in Vedic astrology is how people see you, like the noticeable aspect of how people know you for. Like people know you for where the sun is. That I've seen to be true. So people maybe when they look up, they're like, oh you're such a Scorpio because you look like that to me, you know. But then it doesn't represent how you feel.
Right.
So the subtle things are actually seen by other things.
And Western astrology does not cover that.
It covers when you go into detail with Western astrologer, but personally, I don't find it too accurate myself. Like in terms of how it determines people. Everybody can relate, not everybody. Some people can relate, but I personally don't relate at all to my Western chart. But I do give it credit. Like Western astrology has its merit, its research, just like Chinese astrology or any other type.
But isn't it funny because I've seen Western charts. They do have charts with the planetary positions.
And
So
angles and so many things.
doesn't that mean they're calculating the right positions? Like how is that a disconnect from
Do
Vedic?
they have the same thing like nakshatras and all that stuff? No.
Actually,
They're just like, you're a Scorpio.
Yeah.
I'm such a Libra. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a good business tactic, isn't it? It's so easy to cater for that. With Vedic astrology, like, how can they relate unless they come to me, you know? So we actually, to preserve the purity of Vedic astrology, we also have to compromise on the marketing, you know? So that's one.
But is it marketing? Like I've seen the Western charts. Is it their calculation system is off or?
Oh yeah, so there's a difference there. So the main difference is the calculation. Good point, right? She's
Okay.
such a smart. So smart one. So Western astrology is tropical, which means it follows the tropical zodiac, which means that's...
Wait, pause. What is a tropical zodiac?
Yeah, the tropical zodiac is the apparent path of the sun through the ecliptic.
Through ecliptic what?
the cosmos, like
Okay.
the belt of the sky.
Okay.
Okay.
So in translation, how it looks to Western astrology counts the planets of how it looks to us from Earth. So from Earth, it looks like Sun is in Scorpio.
Oh.
But the Vedic astrology is called sidereal. Sidereal zodiac means the actual position of the planets. So there's a deflection. When the light comes from there to here, it appears to be somewhere else.
Really?
So-
And no one ever thought to send a memo to the Western astrology telling them, yo, your light's a little bent.
No.
Western astrology is like the sun goes around the earth.
Yeah. The earth is
I will
flat.
chop off anybody's head that says otherwise.
Literally.
I didn't think I was gonna get into that. I try not to because it was hard to swallow that one.
Wow, okay, that's brilliant.
And I have one more thing to say because sidereal astrology means the actual position, so it's the real position. Sidereal, real.
Okay, sidereal. Okay, so that means. But then how do they judge that?
What do you mean?
They have a telescope like 10,000 million kilometers long
Well,
to see
Vedic
that.
astrology is conceived by sages,
Ah,
right?
yes,
Through
of course,
meditation.
Of course.
Like Parashara Muni is the original writer of astrology.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva,
Mhm.
and he wrote that in the Vishnu Purana.
Yeah.
The Vishnu Purana has the mother book of astrology within it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever read it?
I'm processing it. I have it,
Okay.
but it's actually much more practical to have research from modern astrologers, Vedic astrologers on those books.
I
Because
see.
they apply the ancient texts on nowadays environment. Because
see.
many times if you read directly the mother book, it's going to be like, oh, if you have this, you're going to get 10,000 elephants, you're going to become a king.
Oh, I see. And then like,
And you're like,
man, we got 2 elephants in my board. That's already a whole job.
we don't get elephants anymore. Men don't marry 7, 10 wives, so these
Well,
things-
you'd be surprised.
some countries.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's called the Brihat Parashara Horashastra.
Okay.
So that's in the Vishnu Purana.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's brilliant. Thank you for that.
Okay. And for devotee note on that, Parashara Muni is a Vaishnava, and he's the one who wrote Vedic astrology.
Yes.
And he said the best remedy for any astrological problem is to chant the Dashavatara Stotra.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I was like, Hare Krishna. I was like, that's what I was told. I was like, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, color me blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love that one. It's such a beautiful one.
I see.
By Jadid Krishna.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, I will look that up later. Not bad. So Dasavatar Stotra is a sort of cure-all for astrological.
Exactly. Each planet is connected to one avatar of Vishnu.
There's 12.
10 avatars,
10 avatars.
9 planets.
Oh, the planets, not the
Yes.
zodiac.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 9 planets, and the 10th avatar is, I guess, Krishna
Yeah.
as the all.
Yeah. I think the one that doesn't have is Matsya. Matsya is not connected.
Oh,
so-
boy,
Really?
it's Matsya.
I think so. I have to check. I don't think
I've never heard much about Matsya, I've never heard of a
Yeah.
Matsya temple,
Yeah.
or Matsya followers. I don't even know where Matsya was, like,
Well, he was before the creation, that's why, right?
probably.
Between the solution and the creation.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, fascinating.
yeah.
But what about before Rahu and Ketu became planets?
Well, that's the thing. All these stories are like, in a way, eternal.
Yes.
It's just a story of how it happened, origin, but if you think of time, it's like, you can't calculate.
It's not really linear.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But they were always meant to become those planets,
Different yugas, I guess different
Yeah.
things happen. Okay. Alright.
Makes sense.
What's our next question here for everybody?
Very good. What?
What's the best and what's the worst sign?
Okay.
This is the
What do you
right
think?
question.
No, she's the astrologist, she's the expert.
I have to
Okay.
say,
Which is the best zodiac?
So if you're the worst, sorry.
Sorry.
Just go hide now. Your life done. Finished. Go.
I'm sorry.
Alright, what you got?
Okay, oh my god. So, I don't know, okay, I'm just gonna speak in general, alright? I'm gonna speak in general about the sign, and I don't
Watch
know.
her get so much hate and love.
How dare you? 1,000 white women angry about what you said about Pisces.
We can do without Pisces.
So, I don't know, the sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant ascendant, it's all going to be different. Maybe it's not even your Vedic one, so you probably can't even tell which one you are. So until you get upset with me, it's going to take you a while to find out. But that's good for me, I have time to run out. But I think that, well, okay, I'm thinking about the annoyingest first somehow. I think it's all very relative, you know, it's all
Look
about...
at the disclaimers coming out.
It's all about...
Let's
like,
hear it, girl.
Say it.
feel, you know?
Who's got the chopping block?
Well, I'm particularly annoyed by cancers.
Preach! Preach! Jen, if you're watching this, you already know. Like,
and Virgos can drive me crazy as well.
Gada, you already know.
And that's because let me explain from a more objective perspective. Cancers, they can be like too emotionally attached.
We're talking about in the sun or the moon?
I didn't want to get that technical.
Sorry, okay, I was just like trying to like...
We'll just go with the energy.
Okay.
The energy of the
Give her a
cancer.
break,
Okay.
poor thing.
So
Her hair's turning white from stress.
Oh.
Like,
well, let's say the sun in Cancer, okay, because you're used to it. Vedic sun, by the way. Then you're just an emotional
mess.
yeah. And you feel a lot, and you can be very hurtful to people as well. Because Cancer, they have such a Shakti, they have
Preach.
such a power, they don't know what they carry. You know, they get really affected, but man, when they want to affect others, get lost.
Lost.
They can speak to you and it will infiltrate your brain in such a way, they can just hypnotize you with something.
Where do I sign
And
up?
curse you.
I'm buying it. I want to convert.
Convert.
She's speaking the
You
truth.
agree with this? Nice. I can write food agrees with
The
this.
funny thing is, I'm surrounded by Cancerians in my life.
Oh, no.
Like surrounded. My
Oh.
dad, some of my closest, like even like family
Your dad.
circle level.
Everything makes sense now.
Exactly. I love my dad.
Love it too.
And like I get a lot of Cancerians attracted. I don't know, just that water sign. I love him, but Lord,
Lord.
they can pinch
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
they have such a pinch, my goodness. So that's it. And for the Virgos, they drive me nuts. Because they're just such perfectionists and it's never right. It's never good enough. And if you are an outsider, you can survive a Virgo. But if you become closer to them as family or friend, Hare Krishna. Because it's just like they're gonna be so tight on cleanliness, they're gonna have very weird set of values and boundaries, and they're gonna want you to fit into those. Otherwise, yeah.
Gotta.
I'm sorry,
No.
that was too much? I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was living with one for a while and I was just like, wow. I had to calculate every move.
Yeah, I tell you, Virgos. But I do like that energy of being obsessively on the ball with everything. That is
That's
one thing I would
because I'm gonna slip in Narayan's details because I know it by heart. You are a freaking Taurus, man.
I am a Taurus.
So Earth signs, they get along.
We get along.
Yeah. By the way, I'm all air over here. I'm completely air.
Airy fairy.
Ascendant,
Mother
moon,
Daddy.
sun, you name it. I'm all the air signs within me.
Yeah.
So when the Earth comes, I'm like, no.
This is too slow.
way.
You gotta move and be
I'm
flexible.
feeling shackled. I can't breathe. I can't.
Are you sure you did your chart right? I get so much earth energy from you. Literally. Literally.
I don't know what's going on.
Not happy about that one. So, Miss Air, who is the best sign then?
Thank you.
I bet she's gonna be Air.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna be so partial over here. Because, I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I do love Scorpios.
I love Scorpios.
What do you think?
I'm a psycho and I don't recommend.
I love Scorpios. You know what? They get a bad rap. They get a bad rap, but they're cool. You're cool, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like cut your throat in the middle of the night because I love you so much. Kind of cool.
That kind of cool.
That's cool to me. Like I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
What's the term? Ride or die.
Yes.
I'm here for the long run. Like
Yeah.
On the
exactly.
die side.
it's like what would you do if something happened upon me? I will murder everybody and kill myself. That is me. I will murder everybody. Don't touch my baby. That's me.
See?
Ride or die.
I like it.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I fully support that conclusion.
It's
Yes.
like a sun in Aries. Like for me, it's like a sun in Scorpio is like a sign. Because why? Aries and Scorpio are both Mars signs.
Yes.
So they are warriors. They're strong.
Yes.
They are powerful. They know they are fearless and challenging. Okay, Scorpios. But they are not so, how do you call, out in the open like the Aries. Not everybody doesn't know that about them.
Yeah.
So there's hidden powerful leaders.
Yes.
And I see that Scorpios are always, they always think big. They're always like up in some government or management role. But they, even though outside they're so perfect at fitting into society and being perfect up to like standard, but they have this hidden world.
They have dirty little
They have
secrets.
this amazing like psychic
I'm gonna
power.
get on the cover of some magazine.
Yeah, I can
You're
tell
gonna
you.
pick up that magazine and be like,
I tell you,
Prema,
I knew.
girl.
I love them because they love astrology, they love tarot, they can
Mystical.
feel people, they can read others' minds just like naturally.
Strategists.
And they're safe. They give that security, like they're committed for the long run. And I just feel like, wow, it's amazing. They actually have feelings. But
Who
they're
knew?
not, yeah. They can't come out as cold. They can't come out
Again, they're all psychotic feelings. Aggressive, neurotic, possessive.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like
It's a whirlpool.
literally like my best match I feel would be a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Of course, it's your 7th house.
It's my 7th house, and I totally get it. You know that old story, because I'm Taurus,
Right.
and you're Scorpio, right? There's that whole story about the bull wanting to cross the river.
I didn't know that.
There's this old wives' tale that I heard my whole life growing up. It's that there's the bull who wanted to cross the river, and the scorpion wanted to cross the river, and the scorpion asked the bull, "Bull, can you take me across?" And the bull's like, "I don't know, you're gonna bite me and die." And the scorpion's like, "No, we ain't gonna do it." And then, I don't know where the story's going, but I might as well finish since I'm halfway through.
Yeah.
Then,
I think I know what's going.
yeah, then the bull crosses, the Scorpio goes on the bull's back, and halfway through, the scorpion bites the bull, and they both drown and die.
Together.
Together.
Forever.
Now, let's,
Another life, another world.
you ain't leaving me, we leaving together.
That's such a Taurus Scorpio thing. Forever
Yeah.
together.
Then I remember like my dad telling me like this, like trying to indoctrinate your child. It's like, you see, trust is very important. You can't trust nobody, blah, blah, blah. And then the bull's asking like, why did you sting me? We're both gonna die. And the scorpion's like, it's just my nature. I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Now, I totally get all of that because the bull was dumb.
Yeah.
It's too nice. And that's me.
Aww.
Way too nice.
Yeah.
And I feel the Scorpio energy of obsession is like perfect. Like, I think that obsessiveness, it's how you know you have true love. When you're obsessed and you're gonna kill some people and kill yourself, hide your kids, hide your wives, and hide your husbands.
Hide everything.
Hide everything. It's good. Yeah, Scorpio's the best sign. I dig it. I
Also,
dig
you
it.
know, I'm the same vibe over here with this.
Literally. A little dark, I
Of
like
course.
it.
I love Aquarius too, of course. I think.
Aquarius are fun.
Yeah.
Aquarius are fun. And I think
Yeah,
Leos.
Yes.
Yeah. Leos are pretty cool.
Yeah, Leos are interesting. They really get on my nerves as well. But
Yeah.
lovely.
Very prideful.
Yeah.
So what does it mean that, you have, if you say the most important planet seen is the moon and sun, would that mean Cancer and Leo have a special status in Vedic astrology?
Ah, interesting. Well, they have one status that they share in common is that Cancer is the sign of the mother and Leo is the sign of the father.
Really?
So they are the foundation in a way of all the planets, of all the other planets. So mother and father, or like the original feminine energy is really Cancer, and the original masculine energy is Leo.
It's Leo.
Like the most balanced, mature level of masculinity and femininity is Cancer and Leo.
Wow.
So they like the king and queen of the zodiac in that way.
We don't like the queen.
Yeah, and they are the most likely to become actors and celebrities as Cancers and Leos as well.
Really?
Because they are no shy and they love the stage. They feel at home on stage. So
Okay.
that's something about that. Because they're luminaries, they're the most visible in the
Yes.
sky. So they also like to be visible in life,
Okay.
on camera and everything. So, yeah.
But luminaries means they give their own light.
Well, the moon reflects light of the sun.
I mean, I guess in the science, but like, because I was just thinking, they say that you can always see Venus
Right.
as the brightest. That
Star.
doesn't make it a luminary.
No, it's not a luminary,
It's not a
but
luminary.
Venus is the brightest, and it's true. Venus is the planet most closely connected to fame. Is Venus?
Really?
Yeah, like to really become famous, you have to have an excellent Venus. So yeah,
Okay.
brightest in the sky has another meanings as well.
Another meaning, okay.
But also it's interesting that sun, when the Venus is together with the sun or with the moon, it's in the sky. It loses its light completely. You cannot see it in the sky.
Really?
And in the chart, if your Venus is very close to Sun or Leo, it is how do you call it? It's like it's drowning. It's combusted. It has really negative effects as well.
Really?
So it deflects. Yeah, it's cool.
They can't share space,
No.
It's just like Venus, I need my space, do my thing.
You got a Venus
I need
moon.
all your light all up in my
The
room.
Venus moon, the moon's gonna suck out all the life of Venus,
Oh my god.
and you're gonna have this like complete, like how do you call it, needy person who just can never get enough attention, can never get enough love, and they're always like, you never care for me, you never call me. That's Venus and moon, like too needy.
Okay.
And Venus and Sun, the person is just too harsh and too selfish.
Ooh.
So
I'm gonna be asking for some chart details.
yeah.
I'm gonna have some little checklist. Venus and Moon, chart.
You can handle that. It's
Yeah.
hard to handle. Yeah.
Interesting. I love astrology. I have a question for you. All right, another one. Do you think there is a 13th zodiac?
Never heard of it.
No?
No.
No?
I don't know.
Like I've heard in some Japanese astrology, whatever, there's that Ouroboros, which is like a 13th astrology symbol. And when you
Interesting.
think that, I assume a zodiac is for each month of the year.
Right. Oh.
And every 3 years, there's an extra month.
The Purushottam month.
Purushottam. Does Purushottam month have its own zodiac?
Wow, that's such a crazy, how do you call it? Idea, no?
Yeah, thought.
Yeah. Wow.
Would there be a special zodiac just for that month?
Good question. Well, I have no idea about that, honestly. I know that the Vedic astrology is so broad. It has also 0 months.
0 months?
Yeah, or
What's a
0
0
star.
months?
Yeah, it's called Shunya Rashi. It's that's more complicated. That's when you want to assess if a time is auspicious or not for something. So throughout the year, throughout the month, there are certain dates or times which it's like a 0 month, which means that there's no auspicious alignment or something.
Or nothing happens.
Yeah,
it's
you
just
should
all
not do.
crap.
You should not do anything there.
So 2020 was a 0 year.
It's also a weird thing, God. But I don't know about 13 zodiac. That's interesting.
Okay.
Look into that.
Fascinating. Prema?
Grandma's so quiet.
Yeah, she's quiet.
She's thinking a lot, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Just
it?
I'm just taking in all the stuff about
Yeah.
houses and whatever. For those of us that aren't familiar with
Yeah.
what are houses? What's a house?
That's a good question.
This is a house.
Well, this is a house.
Yeah.
Because you guys are and the Venus is in the 7th house, and I'm like, okay.
Well, what's a house? A house is an infinite black hole with no end. No.
That's how I feel.
I'm joking.
That's me. I am a house.
That's my life.
I am a house.
No, that's not what a house is. A house is like how do you explain? Okay, should I make it simple or should I make it complicated?
It's simple.
Simple to complicated.
Simple to complicated. Okay.
Turn up the
So
heat.
in the simplest form, a house just means an area of your life.
Okay.
There's 12 houses and there's 12 areas of your life. So your chart is divided into 12 parts in 12 areas. So I can see the financial area by the 2nd house. The marriage or long-term relationship area is the 7th house. Children is the 5th house, and like that. But there's not just that. There's so many more meanings to those houses. But it basically means areas. So
It's very strange because I've seen this description of the houses.
Yeah.
And let's say 7th house. It'll be and you try to pick out a theme because I'm not experienced in Vedic astrology. It'll be this is 7th house. And it is a house that covers relationship, love, divorce, money. The left ear, your right pocket, and your big toe from when you were 7. And I'm there's some really unconnected things there. It's you have the house of
You got it and then you lost it.
Yeah, because I'm trying
what's the pattern, right?
Yeah, what is the general pattern? The house of the body will be your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your this, vehicles, bad weather, and acne. I'm like, what?
No, it's not that bad, guys.
It is.
Okay,
I've
I
seen it.
understand. From beginner's level looks crazy.
Beginner's level, I was like, what is the comment that I take the first 3 and that's it? Like,
The rest is the rest, right?
yeah, what is that?
Well, there's so many ways to see the horoscope. Like one of them is like, for example, like time is also personified. Like in our philosophy, everything's personified. Kala Purush.
Yes.
So the zodiac is also the body of Kala Purush. Time personified.
Oh.
So you can see all the body parts and organs by the different houses.
Ooh, is that why the 7th house about relationships?
Yeah. Right in the middle, you know. So yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that in the ear. So you can see like the head is like the first house, the head. So that's why people that have Mars on the ascendant, which is the first house, they often hit their head a lot, and they have scars on their head.
Oh
Usually.
dear.
Yeah. But then on the side is like the ears, right and left ear, 2nd and 12th house. And then if you go further, there's a right
Oh,
and
it's
left
like that,
arm.
like a little round map.
Yeah, the right
Like
and
the
left
map.
arm.
Relate.
Okay.
The 4th house is the chest, you know, the 3rd house is the throat. So like that. So yeah, so okay, head, okay, make a simple one. 1st house head, 2nd house face, everything in the face, eyes, nose, lips.
Nose.
And then 3rd house is the throat, 4th house is the chest, 5th house is the stomach, 6th house is the digestive system,
Okay.
7th house is the reproductive organs, internal reproductive system. Yes. And then the 8th house is external reproductive organs.
Oh, I see.
So internal, external is divided by the 7th and 8th house.
I have internal reproductive organs.
Yes, you do.
You
I
do.
think I skipped those. I do. I know women do.
Yeah, it's something more subtle.
What?
It's something more subtle. Anyways, it's 7th house also the waist.
Okay.
And then
I have
yeah.
a big 7.
I love it, guys. Anyways, and so on. So
Wait, what's so
like,
on? So what's 8? What's 8?
So the external reproductive system.
Oh, that's 7 and 8.
And the 9th is the thighs.
9th is thighs.
The 10th is the knees.
10th is the
The
knees.
11th is the calves.
Calves.
And the 12th is the feet.
Is the feet.
Oh.
Yes. So you have a full body with the 12 houses.
Nice.
And then you have your full life and many other things. So yeah, it's many ways to find the zodiac.
So you can really see someone on looking at the same 12 houses through various different
Very
layers.
different
Like
angles.
you could see
Yeah.
their health, you could see their
Yeah.
work, you could see their relationship.
Yeah, and you can also see the subtle and gross forms of those things. For example, the house is the most simple thing. Talking about houses, let's talk about the house of your house, which is the 4th
The house of the house?
Yeah. So you have
I
a
mean,
house,
like my
right?
home.
Yeah, your home.
Ah, okay,
So
okay.
your home is represented by the 4th house.
So that's a chest.
Yes. Wait.
Oh, okay,
Let's
okay,
go
okay,
slow.
okay, okay, okay.
Let's go slow. So the 4th
How
house.
is where the heart is?
Home is where the heart is, literally.
You see that saying?
Yeah.
See? She can be an astrologer. That's what I'm saying. You know, you need to see those lines, you know, the subtle and gross manifestation.
Okay.
So the 4th house is security, where you feel comfortable at home, but also it's your feelings, and it's how you feel. So it's like your feelings is the 4th house, and organs it's your heart, literally, and externally it's your home. But it's also your assets and your land and property, things that belong to you, your security. So, but it can also have a subtle meaning of your core values and education. So what are your foundational values, also the 4th house?
Your integrity.
Yeah,
your-
so basically everything that gives you structure and shelter. And again, it's also the house of the mother. Your mother is the 4th house. So your mother is also the shelter for the child. You know, she's always going to be there in a way.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, very
So that's
fascinating.
a way to see, like, why is it your mother, my home, and my heart at the same time? But, you know, that's an easy one to see. But anyways, they're like that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for that explanation.
Yeah.
You get a little more of the house.
I'm getting a
I
little-
get it. Yeah. It made sense. It did.
It did.
It was good.
No devil coming with anything.
I mean, yeah, I know. I'm like trying to play devil's advocate. And I'm like, what do I say?
It's just perfect knowledge.
I get it. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I came to the war, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm like, this time.
That works.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna ask you a tough one.
So far I'm safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Can I
is
ask?
it?
Can I ask? a
You can
random
ask.
question?
You can ask.
Okay, I have a random. It was just on my mind just now when we were talking, but like, Have you ever read, because you've done like over 650 charts, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
damn.
done a lot. She's busy.
She's busy.
So have you ever read a chart and you were like, oh no? Like what's the craziest chart you've ever read?
Wow.
Or the worst, or the most shocking?
Yeah.
Like something.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy charts for sure. That's why I look at the chart before the client comes, not on their face. So I can
Then you
say,
can be like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
by yourself.
Exactly.
And then when
Get
they
out
come
of my
in,
house!
put
Okay,
sheep's
you're like,
blood out the door.
I think I cannot make
Let
it.
this pass over!
Or I'd be like, I'm sorry, but I think I have to postpone you. Oh, I'm going on a trip.
Okay, see, I have some tea, you're gonna need it.
Or prepare the person, yeah. So yeah, I've seen some really difficult charts. So that's been tough to see and to talk. And usually I don't even do the consultation unless I'm comfortable with the chart. Because I feel like the last thing I want is to make people feel bad, or to give them some kind of fatalistic or negative emotion. I'm really like an inspirational, positive kind of person, and I want to bring that to the chart. And until I find it, I cannot do it with the person.
That is the number one reason why I liked you so much as an astrologer.
Thank you.
Because I felt that astrology, there's so many things you can look at in your astrology that you can feel down about.
Right.
There's no point at looking at your astrology just facts and figures, just good and bad.
Exactly.
And to be able to take that information and do something with it.
Yeah.
I can't just see, oh, you have very good success and then think that I'm the Lord and Master. Or I can't be like, oh my God, you're just gonna die of leprosy in 2 years, and then it's kind of like the delivery. I always say delivery is so important. And I think that's how astrology should be, positive upliftment so we can continue with the information we have.
Yeah. Whenever I send the clients a recording of my consultation, because I usually do it online, it's like assisting you to gain clarity and strength, Govinda Vallabha. That's like the motto. So yeah, it's sometimes been really hard. I think the hardest charts I see, it's when the moon or Mercury or both, they are like around Rahu, Ketu in difficult houses. So that and I've seen that in books, like how do you know that someone is like someone with mental problems or like without hope or something, or really have a hard time to grow? It's when their moon, their emotional mind, and Mercury, their rational mind, are hammed in somehow in the chart. So those people, they don't have that in their favor, So when they don't have that, how well can they develop? How well can they see what's happening with themselves, There's less scope for growth and change.
It's very interesting you say that. So, are there charts that are you essentially saying that your chart is essentially there's no scope for growth if the planets aren't with you, or is there always a scope for growth but in a different way? Like for example, like if you have mental problems but you're really good at like solving math, is it that kind of thing? Because I understand that there's a whole literature in Vedic knowledge where you plan when to have your child.
Right.
So that of course, it's all about controlling the senses and everything, but you also want to give your child the best time to be born, if we're just looking at pure astrology, so that they can have the best influences. Like, why would you want to give birth to your kid, for example, in the winter where they're more susceptible to cold and being weak? You want to give birth to your child in summer. These little light things are what to speak of astrology, but do you think that every chart is like a key that has its own strengths, or are there certain things that like, it's gonna be tough for you, good luck?
Hang on.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think there's definitely hang-on charts out there, but that's it's gonna be tough kind of thing. But
you're gonna have a chart where you're like, what? I'm just gonna give you your money back. I'm trying to be positive. It's looking real rough.
Says here you're screwed.
No, I think everybody's potential to change, and improve. The potential is there because it's free will. We can always make choices. However, the question is how limited. How limited is someone's free will? We can also see that in the chart, because it's like, you can see actually in the chart is also potential for growth and change is also seen in the chart. For example, if someone has a fixed ascendant in the birth chart, and they also have the same fixed ascendant on the Navamsha chart, they're going to remain the same person throughout their life. That's
What's
one.
a fixed ascendant?
So
Means the same sign?
no, like the zodiac signs, they're divided into fixed, movable, and dual signs.
Oh.
So if someone is fixed by nature, like Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, these 4 are the fixed signs. So if you're a fixed sign here and you're a fixed sign there, most probably you're going to be someone who's hard to change. You're not very open to suggestions and things. So that already indicates that you might most probably just follow up wherever your karma is showing. And people who are more susceptible and open, they have more perspective to grow.
Okay, now I'll play devil's advocate here.
Tell me. Yeah.
Because let's assume the person is not open to change
Yes.
and chooses to change for the better and not deviate from that. Because being fixed means I'm just going to follow this path.
Yeah, there needs to be some intervention in that person's life. That's when even astrology counts into divine intervention, which means you meet someone, who's maybe God sent, another relative, a friend, or a guru, a spiritual person, someone gives you a book. Those things can definitely change your life. Agya Sukriti, that's beyond karma. But like astrology can only tell what you've got from previous lives, right? Because your birth chart, as a baby, what are you bringing to this life? That's how hard or easy your life's gonna be in that way. But then what are you gonna do to improve your life, and what kind of things you're gonna encounter? Those are all beyond our control in a sense. Because
Phenomenal answer.
Yeah.
Very good.
Interesting.
So
I feel like it's like a courtroom, just asking her all these questions.
Yeah.
sometimes easier, sometimes harder. Like I had this client, she's like 60, and her chart is like so positive. She never worked in her life for money.
Oh, I like her already.
Like yeah, like she has 3 beautiful children. They're doing so well. She has the perfect health. Her husband, can maintain her. They have made a couple houses here and there. Good education, good nature. She has good health. She plays. She has good friends. She's into spirituality now, learning mantras. I mean, what else could you want,
Yeah.
And all she really worries about is just her children's safety, and she just likes astrology. That's why she comes to me again and again, just to find out about herself. But she doesn't really have any problems, So I was just like, wow, this is crazy how some people really have an easy life sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Is that like a Jupiter thing?
it's more than that. It's way more thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could be a Jupiter thing. Some people say that as well.
Jupiter is a
Jupiter
guru
is
and
a good luck,
and all that.
good fortune. Like if you have an amazing guru, amazing Jupiter, then you most probably are carrying a lot of good blessings with you.
Okay.
Or 9th house. 9th house also the house of blessings.
Okay.
Strong 9th house can also save your ass.
Okay, I like that. Strike my house to
Because
say.
I don't have Aquarius. That's what's saving my ass. I'm really counting on that alone in my chart.
That's good.
No, the hope, guys. No.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
What?
I mean, I miss the Indian bathroom in London.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the Indian bathroom.
No.
It just feels good, just push it all off.
What?
Yeah, it's much
Yeah.
better.
I mean, I know it's good for you, but it's not comfortable.
Depends how you squat.
I don't squat very well.
It's
I don't know how to do the
comfortable.
flat foot squat.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, yeah,
No.
sorry.
My thighs are too thick.
What, you do that tippy toe squat? That is
That's
terrible.
the
You're just like
only way.
wobbling around.
Exactly. It's horrible. I can't. I don't know. You lived here.
You
your
need
whole
a
life,
chain
so,
or
like,
something to hold on
You know
to.
how to. I mean, you feel like I got because the wall is usually dirty too. So I'm like.
2 fingers, 2 toes and 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Like, just catch yourself from it.
Stay up, stay up.
Love it. Love it.
Best. So nice. How's it going?
So far, so good. So just before we continue,
It's
or I guess we
on.
will. Well, it's on the whole
Can I
time.
drink some more?
Please.
That's yours, yes.
Can I? Is it? I think it's too cold.
Is it cold?
Is it a problem?
There's that big one that's warm.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
drink water, guys. Sorry.
Me neither. We've been
Wait,
talking.
Don't know why I did that.
The moonshine?
Thanks.
Okay.
Cool.
So we are back. Yes. We are back. And I guess we'll just round off with the last couple of questions before we get into stage advice. Prema, do you want to kick us off?
So I was just thinking about. So I was told once by a friend who had an astrologer friend. She said that when she does charts for non-devotees, everything she sees is true. But like with devotees, it's like completely unpredictable. Do you find that true or no?
Interesting. I do agree that for non-devotees it's mostly like copy-paste or really pretty much straightforward. They get exactly what their chart is. For devotees, in my experience, they mostly get it too. You know, they just might get it in a lighter. Like the negative things are lighter, and I think the positive things are enhanced, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. So devotees have the good karmas are always available, and the bad karmas are like lightened up.
Yeah.
You can see that. Or like, did this happen? Yeah, but it wasn't so bad. They always like, you know, they always say it wasn't that bad.
Release it.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, do you ever get a lot of pushback from devotees about following astrology? Like, because I know there's like, you know, Prabhupada wasn't really like into devotees doing astrology.
Oh, I have something to say about this.
Okay.
No, here we go.
So yeah, people, I think, a couple of times people quote me, Prabhupada, with the negative quotes, you know, and stuff, but that doesn't do anything to me, because what actually inspired to take me astrology so seriously, it was Prabhupada.
Okay.
And I'll explain how that happened in a very small, very short way. It was lockdown, right? I've always been doing astrology, but I never took it as a full-time profession. Before I was teaching Bengali, I had like perspective of teaching dance. Astrology was like happening, but it wasn't like my thing, right? So lockdown happened, and my family decided to read 10th Canto Bhagavatam every day. We got locked in Vrindavan. So we're just doing that, 10th canto, okay, keep the mind up during lockdown in Vrindavan, you know. So, and then we come across this purport where Nanda Maharaj is welcoming Garga Muni to come to Vrindavan for the name-giving ceremony of Krishna Balaram.
Right.
And he praises him as the best of Brahmanas because of his knowledge of astrology. And in that purport, Prabhupada, it's a long purport, and Prabhupada glorifies astrology and jyotish, and he says that any sober man should consult an astrologer.
Interesting.
Yeah, or sober man. And he said that those who want parents should also consult their astrologer to know how to guide their children in life.
Yes.
So there was two purports of Prabhupada was very positive about astrology, and that was right when I was at crossroads of what to do when lockdown happened.
Yeah.
And when I got those things, I was like, yeah, that's my green sign.
You feel like Krishna was speaking to you. Like,
exactly. I feel like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and Prabhupada did say that astrology is like an umbrella, like a weather forecast. If you know it's going to rain, you take an umbrella. Yeah. So astrology just lets you know what's coming, so you can prepare yourself.
Right.
And of course, you can see Prabhupada speaks, you know, to us to become pure devotees, right? That's like the goal of our philosophy.
Right.
If you're a pure devotee and all you care about is chanting Hare Krishna, you don't need astrology, right?
Yes.
But most devotees I know, they want to have a comfortable life in this material world as well, right? So if you just want to chant and like don't care about how much money you have, where you live, who you associate with, then you don't
what
need
obstacles
astrology.
you might be facing.
Yeah, if you're not doing any business, if you're not having a family, you're not doing any business, don't need astrology.
Yeah.
But if you're making money and you think of having a family, you need astrology. It's like that, you know. It's just like you need to see a doctor, you need to go to a mechanic, you need a diploma, just anything like that.
Yeah.
That's how I see it, at least for devotees.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I can also add a little to that pool of Prabhupada's support. I was reading this wonderful book. It's like my go-to book for everything, Beyond Illusion of Doubt.
Oh, wow.
It is my favorite book ever. And in that, Prabhupada, somebody was talking about Socrates or Plato or Aristotle, one of the three great Greek philosophers. And the idea was that, let's just suppose it wasn't Socrates, because Socrates was super, like, Prabhupada loved Socrates best out of all the Western astrologers. So let's just say it was Aristotle or Plato, and Plato said, you know, like, oh, we're going to create a system, and when you're when you're born till you're 4, you're going to do art, and when you're 4 to 10, you're going to do sport, and when you're 10 to 15, you're going to do reading, and then when you're 15 onwards, you do military or whatever. And Prabhupada was trashing that and saying, this is not a advanced system, because what if the boy's inclination is more Brahminical? Why waste his time putting him in military pursuits? So the conversation went on, and Prabhupada went and said, well, that is why we have astrological charts for.
Wow.
for you to determine at the time of birth what is the child's tendencies and natures and appropriately adjust for them in life. Not blanket put them into one thing which may be successful for somebody else, but not for what that person's nature is, and then bring up the good qualities. So just adding, anyone who practices astrology, beyond illusion and doubt.
I love that.
Prabhupada right there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for that. Adding to my Prabhupada pool.
Yeah.
Did you have one more question?
Well, do you want to ask a question?
That was my question.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah. Which was?
Okay, so this is going to be our closing question. Just something fun and light here. Where did I put it? You have to create a new zodiac.
Oh.
Create a new 13th zodiac. Right? Give it a symbol, give it an element, qualities, and time in the year. Tell me about your zodiac for everybody here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about element. What element would your zodiac be?
Ether.
Me too. I was gonna say ether. Why is there no ether in the zodiac?
It's combined with air. That's why. Air and ether, they're very close to each other. So ether is within air, and they just keep
Or
it like
ether.
that.
Got a half a deal.
It's different.
Yeah. Well, ether is untangible, right? It's just space.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Space is filled with air, so it includes.
Okay. So I would have ether as my element for my zodiac. What about you?
No, I don't know.
Or it could be
Pick
something
one.
else, right? If you pick ether or pick another thing.
I pick ether just because I never hear of like ether. You know, I want to always be different.
Yeah.
So you get to create. So Krishna comes to you and says, Prema Rupa, Govinda, Narayan. You will get your own constellations.
But it
in the
would be
sky.
mine, or it
Not
would be
of
like
you, but you
Okay.
get to choose. It could be you, it could be Padma, it could be, you know, a packet of 2-minute noodles.
Because I was kind of
you
like
know?
thinking about it, and I was like, what if there was like, is there like a snake sign?
I
No.
don't think there is.
Then every little slippery snake that exists out there who's nasty, y'all can be a snake sign. You know what I mean?
Put them in their
Sharp.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be the lower planetary system stars or whatever. See, I don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean?
I like it. Okay.
You point down instead of point up, you know what I mean? You're
Okay.
just like, slippery snake.
Slippery
Super
snake.
snake.
Sarparashi.
Yeah.
Sarparashi. I'm
So,
thinking about
I don't know if that
oils.
exists, but
No, it doesn't. That's
No, it does
right.
not. It's only 12.
It does
This is
now.
just for fun.
It does now. I want to have oil. Oil is my element.
Oil as your element?
Yeah, if it does an element.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so oil is your element. I would put sound as my element. So ether.
Ether and sound.
Sound.
Yeah.
Sound. And I like something about sound. I like that.
yeah.
Oil.
And what time of the year would your zodiac operate? It doesn't have to be a month, it can be a day, a minute, the whole year, you know. Like,
It's gonna be the minute between like winter and autumn.
let's see, when is my.
Mine is 3 o'clock when all the ghosts come out. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive. I don't even know who I'm talking to. I was just driving and I was like,
There's
snakes!
all y'all snakes out
There are all
there.
slippery snakes out there, you know who you are.
Lying, thieving.
I'll have it early winter time.
Early winter, I don't know when I'd have mine. I feel like mine would be like New Year. Yeah, New Year.
Oh, like
Yeah, midnight for 1 minute only
Oh.
of the New Year.
Ether, sound.
Sound.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
And my symbol would be a bell.
I was just thinking. I was like, you can hear like a bell. Like
my God,
I hear a
that's
Yeah,
bell.
you can be my sister's
I
zodiac.
see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Like a little like Achaman bell. Ding!
Yeah, I see it.
I like it.
Wow, that's so cool.
And it represents, I don't know.
And my thing is gonna be wood, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oil and wood.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the the symbol
Maybe
is
the
wood.
symbol is a wood.
So like a tree?
Yeah.
Or just the wood log?
I think it's a wooden instrument.
A wooden instrument.
Yes.
Okay, what does it represent?
I don't know. I'm still figuring out this oil wooden instrument in early winter.
Your heart's gonna tell you.
Yeah.
It'll come to you, just like slippery snake. Just try out like slippery snake.
Yeah.
Some people just need to be in that side and stare right there.
I don't know why I'm creating it. I think I'm creating not to put people in it, just maybe I want to get in it.
Me too. I'm like that. I want to be my little bell zodiac, you know, represents new beginnings, purity, auspiciousness,
like that kind of thing.
ding-a-ling.
Yeah, I like the oil on the wood because I like something deep and slow and
So
like
like a yag-yag?
relaxing. No, I was more thinking of a massage. Guys, so Vedic, he doesn't understand.
Okay.
Oh, you're so concerned.
So it's like I can't. So it's like a massage, Ayurvedic oil massage table.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I was really excited.
Hey, you can take it as a sign from the heavens. Take a break.
Take a break.
You know, like.
Maybe that's the sign I'm looking for. And I'm taking a break next week.
Oh, very good.
Cannot wait.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
And then yours was the snake. Let's just be clear. It was the snake. For the snakies.
And all
And
the
all things
silver
snake.
snakes out there.
And when is it? 3 o'clock.
3 a.m. When all the isn't that when the
Isn't
ghosts
it
come
Brahma
out?
Muhurta?
Yeah.
No, when do the ghosts
That's
come
3
out?
Between
p.m.
10 p.m. and 3 a.m. Between, right? 10 p.m. and 3 a.m.
I thought the snakes come out in Bora.
What does that mean?
Barbella is
Bordbella. Okay, Mangalarti type.
no, it's afternoon apparently.
Bordbella. Bordbella is early morning. Is it
Early morning?
Bordbella, yeah.
I heard 3 different barbellas.
Okay.
I heard Barbella being like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
I heard Barbella being at
The
sundown
Bengali.
when
Yeah,
Shiva's
yeah, yeah.
coming out. This is
Yeah.
all Bengali.
Yeah.
And then now you're telling me Barbella is at 3 a.m.
I'm just saying, when the ghosts and the demons come out, that's when you
That's
come out too.
That star is shining in the sky.
Down below.
Oh, it's down.
Down below.
On New Year's, it's gonna be sting.
I like a sweet
And
little
the
bell.
massage is gonna be there.
Yeah. Rolling it out.
I love it.
And that, my friends, concludes our astrology questions for today. We only have a few more minutes left for us to ask a couple of questions going forward. What we call sage advice for those viewers to take forward after the episode. And I guess Prabhupada will hit us off.
So, okay. So one of the questions is, if an astrologer says how many kids you'll have, is that set in stone? Once an astrologer said I have 6 kids.
Apparently, on my right hand, I have 1 line, so I'm gonna have 1 kid.
Okay. See?
I don't even know that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, people.
This is palmistry, so I don't
By
know.
the way, this is palmistry. Such an Indian thing to do. Like, you're an astrologer, check my hand. I'm like, that's a palmist. That's a palmist. I'm not a palmist. One slap. That's my palmistry for you. No, I don't think. Well, it really depends on the astrologer, first of all. Because astrologer.
Can they predict something like
Of
that?
course they can.
Okay.
It depends how good they are. It's actually, especially with the Prashna astrology, it's like I'm in love with it. There's like the mystical sector of Vedic astrology where you don't take into account just the horoscope, but actually how the astrologer feels, what kind of position the person sits in, how they hold their hands,
Interesting.
and also your
Really?
breath, the pranayama. That you can check how your breath is flowing from your nostrils. And if it's right or left, anyway, it's the whole thing about it, guys.
What?
So
Okay.
when you ask a question like, oh, how many kids am I gonna have? If you honestly have that question, that's all you can actually tell by the environment and the symbols and the omens.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So some stars are pretty powerful. They can say that stuff. But just like from the chart, I don't think you can. I think it's very rare to find an astrologer that can tell exact number of kids.
Okay.
I think kids are really predestined. Like there's no mistake, you know. If the kid is either meant to come or not meant to come, like there's no such thing as like accidents, because it's like a lifetime of karma. Like it cannot just happen, right? So I think that it's hard to tell, but it's already predestined for sure.
But it's not like, oh, so it is predestined. So if they're like, you're gonna have 6 kids, you're gonna have 6 kids.
But predestined means it's in space, right? It's not manifest. Predestined, not predestined by an astrologer, predestined to you, to your own individual destiny. Like your destiny carries that, but who can know that truth? It's very rare. Who can access what's your true destiny, you know? So I'm not sure if many astrologers can tell. So if they tell you the number of kids, I'll be like, well,
sure.
first, First I'm like, oh,
I mean, I'm in my late 30s and I have one kid, so it was like definitely not.
Yeah.
So
I'm not
you have 6
I'm
kids?
not popping. So when I was born, somebody said I'd have 6 kids.
Well, they just probably saw your 5th house was very strong.
Maybe.
And it had Jupiter. They saw all the things which indicate children and just put it up like, well, she's gonna have a lot
I have
of kids.
6 kids.
Yeah, but there's so many other ways to check houses, you know, in horoscopes. So I usually don't do that stuff because if it was like 100 years ago, maybe you would be a person with 100 kids with that kind of chart.
Because they have nothing to do all day.
It has to be to do with
They don't have no
like
TV.
oh yeah, and time, place, circumstance. Nowadays, nobody has that many kids. So predicting that is like a huge mistake unless there's some phenomenal thing in the chart, you know.
Okay.
So it all has to be to time, place, circumstance. So if someone has a lot of kids in the chart, I would say, wow, I think you're gonna have like 3 kids. Nowadays, 3 kids is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have like a bad or like a difficult alignment, it's like you might have 1 kid.
That's already a lot of kids.
Yeah, you might have a kid or not, you know. So that's like that. So a lot of kids is like 3. That's like how I would say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
3 is a bit. Like, yeah.
I do have clients who have like a lot of siblings, but they're like in their 40s or 50s. Like recently, I've never met.
Yeah, me neither.
Out of fashion.
Yeah. Nobody got time.
No time, money, energy,
The little
or
kids they
will.
have, they don't have time for them either. So that's also
Neither.
sad. Yeah.
Okay. What's our next question?
So how can you tell if someone is a good astrologer or a real astrologer even?
My goodness.
Like, is
That's
there
actually a
one
good
thing-
question, actually.
Yeah,
I wanted,
because
like-
everybody can pop up and be like, I'm an astrologer, and it's like, how do I know if you're good or not? You know, like.
Well, I think most people come to me because of recommendations.
Okay.
So you should also.
I'm not
do
saying
the
you're
same.
not good. I mean, like, if you.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying like why people choose me
Yeah.
because of recommendations,
Okay.
and that's how I choose others also. You know, if a friend of mine, if someone, or at least it's like a public statement somewhere, like if people have had great experiences, I mean that's how I think you can tell because it's really the taste is in the pudding, right? If the astrologer can make a good prediction, that's probably a really good astrologer.
Yeah.
You know, if that person came out positively and everything. But if you have no reference of who they are in any way, shape, or form, then I think without recommendations, it's hard to tell. So if you want to choose someone who nobody knows and to see if they're good or not, well, I think you need to know a little more about astrology to be able to check them. You have to know like how many years they study, what's their line of astrology, and what system they use. For example, if there was an astrologer in Mayapur, won't mention names. So I was asking him like, oh, what kind of services do you do? I was like, oh, this. Oh, I want that service. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, that service, you know. And he was like, oh, no, but I don't do it like that. I'm like, but that's how you do it. How do you do it otherwise? Oh, I do it a different way. I'm like, why? You know, so then I could tell that this person didn't have the skills. I cannot say. Anyway, so he didn't know how to do a prashna. He was offering prashna in his thing, and I do prashnas all the time for people. So I'm like, oh, I'll do a prashna with you. And I asked him how he does it, and he's like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, so why are you offering it, and what do you do for this, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like, so I didn't take any further, you know? Also, he said this teacher told him that Saraswati doesn't exist. Like a specific transit, which is so powerful.
Yeah.
His line of teaching doesn't take that into consideration. And I was like, okay, that's not gonna fly with me.
Yeah.
So I didn't even try, you know. So also I don't like written reports too much. I like when people are like lying.
A conversation.
Written report can also be as more scheme for like cheating because it can be a lot of copy paste or things which are very general.
Right.
So that's more scope for problems unless the person really takes the time to make your private PDF.
Okay. Good.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
And our final question,
No.
because we need to go.
I know. I just want to make, because people, you know, they wrote to us, and I want to make sure that I honor that, you know?
Yeah.
So quickly, if you can answer this, what's the significance of K2 in 2023?
Alright, in short, to this question and direct, I'm happy with this question because actually I have been studying K2 a lot the last year, K2 and Rahu. So K2 in 2023 is going to be in a sign of Libra. It was in Libra almost the whole 2022 and it's going to remain in Libra until November 2023. So the influence of K2, why is K2 important? Because the eclipses happen where K2 is. Ketu and Rahu, they are the points of the eclipses. And eclipses in astrology means change, okay? Change, reassessment, reevaluation, and Ketu especially means ends and new beginnings. Okay, so this translates to Ketu in Libra 2023 relationships. Okay, long-term relationships reassessment.
Oh, I feel that.
Reassessment.
I feel that. I have
That
been
can be
doing
business.
all of that last year.
Yeah.
Everyone's been getting sweep, really. Like,
Exactly.
okay, blame
So
Ketu.
business partnerships and any type of long-term relationship, marriage or friendship. But if it's like a strong bond, you're gonna be reassessing those bonds. That's for sure.
Is
And
it
Ketu's
worth
really-
reassessing, or should we just be like, don't reassess it?
No, you should reassess it.
Yeah.
Now is a good time because you're
Okay.
gonna be able to cut off toxic and not necessary unhealthy ties. You know,
Wow.
Ketu's gonna help you with that.
Yeah.
But if your marriage is going through a difficult time or relationship, then hold on,
Yeah.
hold on, because Ketu can really push to a breakup.
It's gonna be a bumpy
So
ride.
2022, 2023 remains a bumpy ride for relationships. So enjoy the ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Last question. Anything else we need to be aware of in 2023?
Be aware of.
Yeah.
I would say manipulative leadership.
Mm.
That's something to be aware of because of Rahu, the planet of cheating, in the sign of Aries, the sign of leadership. So you're gonna have
Leadership. See?
many, new leaders say, yes, I can save the world, I can solve this, but maybe they actually can't. So that could be that could be an issue with lots of rebellion, I think, against leaders is already happening. 2022, 2023, you see many countries, most countries change president. Like there was elections in a lot of countries of the
Yeah,
world.
Malaysia went to 3 heads of state,
Really, and Brazil's
I was
going
gonna
through
say
so much.
Brazil is going through.
Brazil
Isn't there
is-
like a whole insurrection going on?
There's
and-
still going on, and it's
Okay.
being cut by the media, and the Queen passed in England. It was a huge change of power, right?
Yes.
So this is Rahu and Aries creating a huge shift of power worldwide. And in smaller circles like in our life, we should be, careful with who we trust in terms of our bosses, leaders, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But also more people will be coming to power, I think. More entrepreneurs, more independent businesses, and people will have a raise in their life, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That wonderfully summed up. Watch out for cheating leaders ahead, and in the meantime, you get more power to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
Thank you
answering
so
all the
much.
questions. This was
Informative.
wonderful. I love this
I learned
episode.
so much.
Literally, my mind is like, I need to process this the rest of the day. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that was
This was
wonderful.
so cool.
Thank you, you're
Thank
the
you
best.
so,
You're
so very much.
so funny, so sweet, so loving, and I was just I still feel honored to have come from the beginning
Okay,
and
We're
end.
honored to have you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very,
We
very
have
much.
to do this again.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Absolutely.
we gotta do like a live charity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
I
it.
think so.
You know, I think I want to get more into guest shows.
Yeah.
If this was our first guest show, this sets the tone because Rahu is in the Ketu and the Venus and the Moon. Then we can do it
We
this has
can
good
go
scope.
for it, guys.
Yeah.
I think
So thank you all so very much for watching this very special episode of the Damn Good podcast. If you have any questions, concerns, if you'd like to know more about astrology, if you want to know more about Govinda, we will put a link up to her Instagram or reachable websites if you want to contact her more. And if you'd like any questions from us for our guests or recommendations for other themes, please, as always, let us know in the comments below or write an email or send a letter by post. You know where to reach us. So, signing off here with me, Prema and Govinda. Thank you so much for watching our show.
Be sure to check out the links below to find out more about how to support us, and also your AstroGovinda on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the only social media you have? Or do you
Yeah.
have other things?
Websites. Yeah, the social media.
What's
Yeah,
your website?
AstroGovinda.com.
AstroGovinda.com.
There you go.
So you can watch our podcast here on YouTube, also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well.
be good to each other and be good to yourselves. And
thank you for being
damn
damn good.
Here it is this week's Harina.
Haribo!